अहमद मंसूर 24 न्यूज़ से ताल्लुक़ है। जनरल साहब, हमारी जो फोर्सेस की लीडरशिप है उसके लिए बहुत कुछ कहने को है, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ ये कहूँगा कि जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज स्ट्राइक्स आपने की हैं इस सारे कन्फ्लिक्ट में, उन्होंने भी बॉर्डर पर बड़ा कुछ हिला के रखा है। सवाल सर मेरा ये है कि मसला कश्मीर एक ऐसा है कि उसकी वजह से दो एटमी जो ताकतें हैं वो एक खौफनाक जंग पूरी दुनिया को हिला के रख देती है। इस दफ़ा फिर यही हुआ। और अभी जो सदर ट्रंप ने अभी जो दूसरा ट्वीट किया है, उन्होंने मसला कश्मीर को एक मुतनाज़ा इलाका करार दिया है, उसका जिक्र मुतनाज़ा खित्ते के तौर पे किया है। तो इंडिया तो इसको अपने तौर पे इसको गैर मुतनाज़ा कहे बैठा है, लेकिन क्या ये एक बड़ा नादर मौका नहीं है, सुनहरी मौका नहीं है पाकिस्तान के पास कि अब इस जो कन्फ्लिक्ट के तनाज़र में अब चूंकि दुनिया भी राब्ते में है, सबकी नज़रें हैं इस पे, तो पाकिस्तान दोबारा मसला कश्मीर को आलमी सतह पे लेके जाए, कोई इस मंतकी अंजाम इसका हो जाए?
Kashmir remains central to the dispute between India and Pakistan. And peace between India and Pakistan will always elude till the time there is not the resolution of the Kashmir as per the United Nations resolutions and as per the will of the people of Kashmir. So that is important to understand. Till the time that is not done, there cannot be enduring peace between India and Pakistan. So this military conflict has once again put Kashmir right as the flashpoint which needs to be resolved, which needs to be as per the will of the people of the Kashmir. And you have alluded to the tweet and the international path, rightly understanding that this issue of Kashmir needs to be resolved. The problem here is that what we are seeing is, and I talked about it in my last press conference also, is that India continues to internalize this external problem. Kashmir is an external problem with Pakistan, India and the people of Kashmir. It is on the UNSC resolution. It's an internationally recognized dispute. And India is trying to internalize it. How? By trying to change the demography of Kashmir, by trying to change the legal status in violation of the UNSC resolutions and the international commitments that India has made, by the coercion and harassment of the people of illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and multiple other actions, by the oppression that is going on and the just and the just struggle of the people of Kashmir for their rights, and then on the pretext of law and order, on the pretext of terrorism, this you are seeing what's happening even after Pahalgam in Kashmir. Houses of the people are being bulldozed, blasted. People are being taken into custody, not in dozens but in hundreds, in thousands. You have got so much security forces, so many intelligence people, so much state power put in that very small place. The rights of the people, the plight of the women, the plight of the children. So it's an international issue. Talk it out, find a solution which satisfies the will of the people. So that is what needs to be done as far as Kashmir is concerned.
सर, मोहम्मद इमरान सुनो न्यूज़ से। सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि क्या इंटरनेशनल गारंटीज दी गई हैं कि जो सीज़ फायर है वो कोई लंबे अरसे के लिए सस्टेन कर सकेगा?
You see, being the spokesperson of the armed forces of Pakistan, I can state with 200% certainty that the Pakistan armed forces are holding the line of control ceasefire. no violation is being made by Pakistan Army or the armed forces. Because we are a professional army and we strongly abide by the commitments that we make, and we follow in letter and spirit the orders of the political government. That's what the professional army does. Now, if you see in reality what's happening in Pakistan, Pakistan is celebrating peace. You go to the streets and towns of Pakistan, the Pakistanis are celebrating peace. Does it make any sense for Pakistan to start violating the commitment that we made? It doesn't make any sense. Because we are a peace-loving nation. Peace within and without. However, if there is any aggression, we will respond, and we respond then.
So thank you so much. My name is Raza. I'm from Iranian State News Agency. If you allow me, I have a question from the Honorable Vice Admiral. So thank you. We have seen the activities of the Navy before the escalation and the readiness. As the Indian Navy P-81 was being closely tracked and even seen on media, why Pakistan Navy decided not to shoot it down? And you refer to the limitation facing by the Indian aircraft carrier. Keeping in view the limitation of the Indian aircraft carrier, can you please explain us why India have not brought its carrier to, for so-called possible attack?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the question. Okay. First of all, like I told you that the war is not fought in isolation by a single service. So, whatever we do, it's a very well coordinated effort. So, all actions are calibrated amongst the three armed forces at what time, what is to be done. So, at that time, when that was the video of 4th and 5th of May, we just demonstrated that we were keeping a very close vigilance, and I've mentioned our, the very effective coordination and collaboration with Pakistan Air Force. So I'll not go into those details because of the operational security reasons, but essentially that was simply to send across a message that if we can track, so we can go to the next level, but that is based on the national decision-making. That's not an isolated. The Navy will always act in sync with the all three services, and that would be a national security decision-making thing. So when the time will come for that to happen, so inshallah we will respond in that fashion. The aircraft carrier, I mentioned, for example, we can have that slide, Kazim, if he's here. So this is the aircraft carrier which is having 8 to 12 MiG-29s, which is barely enough to carry out its own air defense. And aircraft carriers, if the Western air carrier, if you talk of the 4th class aircraft carriers, they carry like 75 plus aircraft. And the purpose is to project the power and to have the air superiority in a theater of war. So, and that is how they influence operations from sea to land. So here, in case of INS Vikrant, the aircraft that it was carrying, they were barely enough to carry out its own air defense. And, the question of projecting power ashore or to maintaining an air superiority in a conflict theater, that's simply not possible. We know that, the Indian Navy understands that, and that is why it was more of a psychological, trying to create a deception or a psychological effect. And we fully understood that. And like I said, we were always ready. Had there been any aggression, we, in close coordination with Pakistan Air Force, we were always ready. They were cockpit ready to generate a response. We have a mechanism worked out with the Pakistan Naval Aviation assets and Pakistan Air Force assets. So the response was always ready.